So I had my run of bands.
So tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about your experience with each band. We got some time. Tell a little bit about each experience from your first
All right.
go-go band with us with Oasis, right?
Yeah, that's the first band. That's the first band I ever played with. And I was playing trombone at the time, and that's important because at some point I switched to keyboards. But I was playing trombone with Oasis band.
Ovation,
And
Oasis. Um, so that was a little homegrown thing.
band. And I remember everybody talk about the block party behind TC.
That was a classic.
And yeah, that was a
Tell,
classic.
we gotta let the
That
people know about that because there's some houses behind TC where there's a big fence by the football field behind TC Williams where the black people own. And they would let us come out there and pull into
yeah,
their Cadillac, and they would let us come out there and watch the game from that fence a lot of times. So they allowed us to have a go-go bands back there in their backyard, basically.
Check it out, Metro World Live. Check it out. Jimmy Jim 95. Big baby. Hey, yeah. Coming through, coming through, coming through, coming through, coming through, coming through, coming through. Yeah, yeah. Coming through, yeah, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, 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 yeah.
About is a guy that used to play the keyboards for Ace Deuce Al band, and he ended up learning sound from Yao and Dee Dee, which everybody in go-go know about Dee Dee now. Dee Dee is big in sound in the
yeah,
go-go community right now. He's come to be a legend, and that all came from Yao.
yeah,
Yao was was an older cat that lived on Evans Lane at the time in Alexandria, Virginia, called Del Ray area, and he had dreads, and he lived that Rasta type of persona,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
once when he helped us out, he opened us up to a lot of experiences in this go-go genre. He was the connection for a lot of DC to Alexandria, connect. He was the plug.
He also did sound for Ovation, I believe.
Hey, we gonna do for my bad sister, Sabrina. Hey, we gonna do for Sabrina kind of boogie. Make it boogie, y'all. Oh, suck. Hey, son, you gotta put it down. I still can't see nobody in the back. Make it boogie, y'all. Alright now. We don't think that's good no more. Alright now. Hey, what you got there, Phil? What you got right there? I know something on your mind, Phil. Hey, what you got there, Lee? That bull, y'all. We don't think that bull no more. Think that 900. Hey, look here. That bull, y'all. We don't think that bull no more. We think that 900. Is that right, Ronnie? Think that bull, y'all. We think that 900. We think that 900, y'all.
After Oasis, then I think, and you have to correct me, cause my memory. Young Funk, I think, was after that. Yeah, I remember rehearsing with them over at Court Kelly.
Yeah,
I
on the
remember
stilts.
Court Kelly.
It was on the
Yeah,
stilts
and
because they used to flood down in that area called the
yeah,
Hole. That's where Tracy Fells and and I also lived down there for a brief moment. Yeah, place called the Hole in Alexandria
oh
in
yeah.
Delray. One way in, one way out.
I did play with Young Funk for a stretch. Then I went back, I think, Oasis, and then split with that and joined Shady Groove
Okay.
at the time. It was like in '82, I believe, when I joined 80 Shady Groove. Cause we did the album in '84.
Y'all remember VA's #1 band, Shady. When I say hey to the big brother Robin C. When I say hey to the big brother Reds and John. When I say hey, one time y'all, where would I say to the sweet lady Bonnie and Tank. When I say to the big brother Window and John. When I say to the big brother Wood and Steve. When I say one time y'all, recognize where you at, Mr. In the jet, at the party, on the weekend.
A segue into that because, like we always talked about, when I came over with with PV amp, me and a couple homies, we got the band, and we had no name. I remember one of the names they wanted to do was Future Funk. I was like, nah, man, it didn't ring to me. So we went over Westover. That's a basketball area with a playground.
Yeah.
And we had a band meeting, and I never forget it because I was traveling back and forth to DC with my cousin. I caught the subway, and I remember I seen on the subway it said Shady Grove, but To be honest, I thought it said Shady Groove. I said, that's a good name. So I came back with the name, right? Because I thought it was slick, right? So I actually had to convince them that it was a good name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we played at schools and here, there, at the rec centers. We never really made no noise with the initial Shady Groove. We never
Right.
really made any noise. Nobody knew us but the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
So when the drummer went in, we had to get another drummer. The drummer, he got, with the college, so we had to get another drummer. So the lead player was Chucky Terry at the time.
Okay.
Chucky said, man, I know a guy down the street on Albert Street. He played drums in his basement, and we could take the amp, because I was moving my amp all around,
Right.
man. So we could take the amp there and everything. And at the time, the guy's sister was going with the eventual lead rapper for the record at the time.
Right.
So he would come down there and try to tell us how to do this and that. But I ended up taking a vacation at the college.
Right.
And when I get back, they had a strong band. And the only original person on that record is P-Funk.
Lord, I feel like letting P-Funk ride. What you got that? Hey, P-Funk, just ride to do what you do, man. Ooh. Right on till. That slide, slip through the slide. Man, these lights real hot up here, y'all. Hey!
We did the album in 84. That went on to 85. Then
So your memory pretty
after
sharp.
that,
You might
uh,
have something too. But here on Gogo Roundtable, because that's the title of everything. That's the umbrella we're under. But
yeah,
here on Gogo Roundtable, um, me and Elwood was trying to get the time together, and you just said something that sparked up some curiosity. You said 82 you got with Shady Groove, right? And I was telling
yeah, I
El
believe so.
that Ovation was playing in '79. I said, man, my first go-go, but I'll let you ask that, I guess.
Now
But
you go ahead and tell her what was your
well, it was at Hammond, which is so funny that we're
Right up the
up the
street.
street from here.
Yeah.
I was in junior high in the seventh grade,
and who was it?
and at lunch, it was Trouble Funk.
Wow.
That's right.
They brought Trouble Funk to the school
Yeah.
at lunchtime, and I heard it. Man, I was like, what?
Yeah.
And really that started it. But I really fell in love when I started hearing Rare Essence.
Yeah, I knew he was an Essence
Yeah, I
fan.
was an Essence.
You and BB,
Yeah.
your cousin, that's
Yeah,
your cousin?
yeah. Like my god sister
Cause
cousin.
she kind of put us on too. So
Yeah. And then when they started going, man, it was just full love affair,
yeah.
Yeah. So it blew up. So and my correction is incorrect in saying that they say Ovation Ovation really was the root for Alexandria. I mean, they really were the first band.
The first band, period, in go-go of that genre,
In
period,
Virginia,
in Virginia.
Yeah.
And so, like, I already knew Elwood because they had a band that we used to go to a church and see. That church
Oh
with the
yeah,
statue out front.
yeah. You talking about Star Child
Yeah, Star Child. I mean, y'all used to
before the
play
whole
it
go-go,
before the
yeah,
go-go.
it's true.
So I knew Elwood right
Yeah.
there was playing with that band. And then when Ovation came out, man, it was like,
Yeah.
man, they was the Rare Essence. Not
Yeah.
only was there the seed of Virginia period, but Alexandria, to more or less,
Yeah.
because we had a tight community.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the way Ovation started, man, was like we was just like it was me, Maurice Tills, and Ron Boone, and
Give
we
me
was
a year.
just like,
Well, give me a year. Give me a year.
yeah. So this would have been '81. This would have been '81 because the reason I remember it was '81.
It had to be before
Well,
'81.
we
Yeah,
was working out in '80.
Cause I
So
saw them in '82. See, I saw them in '82.
yeah.
So
So you saw us in '82, but we started messing around in '80, but we didn't get like really start working until like
Yeah,
'81. So
okay,
we came out.
Yeah.
yeah. They had to be
Ovation
because
already been playing.
I started Shady Groove in 1980. Because I remember where I lived at the
Yeah.
ages I by the ages I was, and I was living by Simpson Field when I named the band Shady Groove. Yeah. Also, man, you know, I always said that I didn't play on the record, but I created the name. So when I did do that, it was over Westover. The playground where we all used to go over at over there by the projects in First Street. So
Yeah.
Pete was the only original member in the band that made the record, though, because you gave a lot of good information about that. But we want to hear just a little in depth about. I heard you say some guys that people don't even know about. Where did those guys come from? Who was in that Shady Groove band that made the record?
Yeah. Like I'll start with Artie, cause Artie was the most interesting. He was in the jazz band with me at TC when we was in high school. And he played keyboards, so I kind of talked him into coming in the Shady Groove to play. And I'm just talking about the people that played on the album. Now,
Right.
um, Jose started before me. They got Jose, then they recruited me from Oasis. Now, Ron Henry came in after we both came in to play guitar. He was another member of Oasis that joined with Shady Groove, ended up playing on the album. And Elwood came from Ovation, obviously, but that was, I don't know why. I never knew to this day why he left Ovation, but he had left Ovation and joined Shady Groove. I'm not in the exact order, but he was there before we were there. He was already in Shady Groove. Willie, I forgot about Willie that played drums. I don't know, Spoo, you may be able to speak on this. If Willie,
Yeah.
how
What
was
what had
there
happened? I was
original?
still there when Willie was there. Um, what happened was Tank was our original. William Mason was our original drummer. Tank and
Yeah,
William he went on. So um, at the time, Chucky Terry was our guitar player, and he told us about Willie. And Smooth Man Tony was going with Willie's sister at the time. So when I went on vacation,
yeah,
because remember he played a little brief time with Ovation, right?
yeah.
Smooth Man did, right? He talked for Ovation for a brief time. Am I correct?
See, I only remember Smooth Man when I met him when I joined in Shady Groove.
But I thought
So
I
I
thought
may not even
where.
seen him.
But anyway,
I
he was
know.
going with his sister, and that's where we rehearsed in Willie's basement at the time on Alpha Street, down from the ramp.
Yep,
Yeah. So like I'm saying, you can connect the dots after that. When I left, we had all the original guys there with Willie, other than Willie, right? And Ed was there
yeah,
too. Ed was playing keyboards at the time for us.
yep. Then then when we started playing, like I mentioned Eddie before. Eddie would jump in and out and do some shows, and he was here and there. That's why we had got Artie to play after Eddie left. And on an album, which was quite interesting, it was recorded in D.C. on K Street at Omega Studios. And at that time, they deal with Shine because Petworth was recording their album a week after us. And
Mhm.
no, it was Pump Blenders. I'm sorry. Petworth might have came in a week before us, and Pump Blenders a week after us. So it's like everybody was going there and recording their albums at that time. And after that album, after we finished recording that album, no, before I get there, I just gotta mention when we did the studio for the horns, because I was playing trombone. It was pretty interesting because that's when Pat Cooper was there. But then for some reason they didn't like Pat Cooper, so they went out and switched Pat Cooper with Too Tall Steve that played with EU at the time. So the trumpet you hear on there is Too Tall Steve, and then they brought in CJ also that played sax. So it was really Too Tall Steve, CJ, me, and Jose. There was a whole horn section that played on that album. Then,
Interesting.
then after the album came out and we did shows, CJ did some shows with us also, and Steve did too, till we got another horn player playing. So at that time, Ovation was still playing, and an Ovation had amp sitting on bass instead of wood, and amp and him and Bill was running Ovation at that time. Then eventually Ovation broke up, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct, Boo?
Now,
That
I'm
they
not
broke
sure,
up?
but I don't know. I know they wasn't together at the while, so I don't know when it happened.
Yeah, yeah. I remember a couple of shows we did with them, and we actually beat up on Ovation. And then after a
Yeah,
while, they had broke up.
You think you got it? You say that you can swing. To tell you the truth, well, I don't think that you can hang. But anyway, I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. You think you got it? You say that you can hang. To tell you the truth, well, I don't think that you can swing. But anyway.
Then
so
then
hold up.
we
So you
went
said
on.
you got to retirement,
Yeah. Say what?
my man. See that? Hey, listen, y'all. That's that friendly fire, that friendly competition that we had back in the day. It was
Yeah.
all love. It was all love. But when we
Yeah. It
came
was
out,
on.
like and Doc used to say, we gonna dig in that and yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was very competitive. Very competitive when we did shows. But after the show is over, we all peoples.
Come on, one, two, three. I love my baby. I love my baby. love you, baby.
I love my baby, yep, yep, I love my baby.
I love you, baby.
I love my baby, yep, yep, I love
I
you.
love you, baby.
I love my baby, yep, yep, I love my baby. I
I
love
love
my
my
baby,
baby.
yep,
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 yep.
I
I
love
love
my
my
baby.
boy.
Yeah,
We all close.
yeah.
But yeah, after Ovation broke up, then we went on. We was just playing more shows till after we started splitting up, and that's a whole lot of detail. I don't know if I
That,
want to go into
you know,
right now.
we here on Jones show. We on Blue Jones show. This is archive stuff. So we want, man, look, man. You just said you beat up on the peoples. So what started happening, man? Because we don't want to keep repeating these things. So what happened?
You want me to speak on how Shady Groove broke up?
Yeah.
Well, I'll just put it this way. There was a big dispute over the album that we made because nobody wasn't getting paid from the album. Now, in music business, generally, when you make your first album, you make that one on your face. You don't get anything. It's just paying back all the studio costs and so on and so forth. But it was dispute that some people got paid and some people didn't. And so the band just kind of split up from that. And when they split up, and ironically, if I could recall, this was about the time, if you recall Good to Go, the movie was coming out way back with Good to Go. We at one time we were almost was going to be in that movie, but we was on shaky ground at that time. But but what happened was when we kind of disputed the band split in half primarily. Then we just went on. At that time, I ended up going to college
Okay.
because I had graduated from TC. This was in '85. That's how I can remember it so clearly. I graduated, and I was debating whether to go to college or not because of the whole music scene. So I went on to Virginia State and majored in music at that time. And that whole stretch that I was at Virginia State, I don't know what was happening with Shady Groove at that time because I was pretty much I was away, home sometimes, but I was primarily away. And a little small note: while I was at Virginia State, musically, I was doing a lot musically. Um, I can name some names. Michelle Innadale Cello, which is Jock Johnson's sister. We all was down there at Virginia State together,
Mm,
and we did some playing down there. My boy Elrod was in the band with us down there. He played with current currently I don't know who he's playing with currently, but he was just playing bass with Jock. Hey, what's the name of the group over in Maryland? The name is escaping me right now for the life of me. But he was playing with them, and we had Damian Hall from Guy also. He was playing on drums before he left and joined Guy with Teddy and his brother Ern, because Ern used to come down to Virginia State and do stuff with us also. So my whole stretch in Virginia State was pretty interesting. Then after that, I came back home, chilled out around. I think Steve was starting Shady Groove back up again when I came back. And that's what I forgot.
okay.
Total Control Band
So you
was
played with
starting
them?
at that time.
Yeah.
I I played with them for a small stretch back when I first got back from college. And that was when they was first starting, before they made their record and everything. I didn't play on their record or anything,
The original Total
but
Control, TCB,
yeah, the
the original.
original with Marstellus playing bass,
Yeah,
CJ was playing drums.
and
Yeah,
Fragile.
yeah, Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, Fragile. I like to
Yeah,
know where he at today too. I like to find him.
yeah, he just had a birthday recently. I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Yeah, tell him get at Boo
But
Jones. Get at me.
all right, I DM him. All right. Well, after
But
that,
continue though. When you came back, you got with the new Shady Groove project, and what happened?
yeah, I to skip a little bit of time. I was playing with the new Shady Groove with Steve.
Hey! Oh, y'all, oh, get it! Hey! Oh, funk it on up, y'all! Funk it on up, y'all! How you feel tonight, Stoker? I said, everybody looking out of sight now. Oh, y'all, oh, get it! Oh, funk it on up, y'all! Funk it on up, y'all! Now listen, I see y'all out there working that body, y'all. Working that body. Work that body, work that body, y'all. I see y'all out there working that body, y'all. Working that body. Work that body, y'all. I see y'all there, so working that body, Jeffrey. Work that body, y'all. I see y'all there, Boogaloo, working that body, y'all. Work that body, y'all. Woo-ha. I see y'all there, working that body. Say what, y'all? I see y'all there, VA, working that body, y'all. Work that body, y'all. Hey, everybody, how you feel tonight? Feel like moving that body. I feel like moving that body, y'all.
Thurman. I who else? I can't remember who else exactly was in the band. I mean, I think Mike might have played one time. It was a couple of people in and out playing. So I played with them. Then Toddy
His
called
brother,
me up.
his brother Kevin was in the band.
Oh,
Kevin Thurman also,
yeah, yeah. Kevin Thurman was in there also.
and his
Oh,
little
oh, let
brother.
me.
Then his little brother played the drums on George, who's
Yeah,
also is
yeah.
a half brother.
You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
George is a half brother
he
of Foots
related
also.
to Foots.
Yeah, it's his little brother.
Yeah,
They got the same dad,
yeah, yeah. He
Big
was on the
Joe.
drum.
Yeah,
Yeah, but some after that. That's when I went to Into Deep. I got with Bill. As a matter of fact, you just had Weeze on, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if Weeze mentioned it, but Weeze played in Into Deep also.
He mentioned that.
Weeze was the drummer.
Yeah, yes, sir. And his cousin, who also played with
Yeah,
Ovation, was on the front mic, right?
yeah,
Tricky Rick.
yeah,
What's that?
yeah.
Rick
Ricky
Langley
Rick.
Hopkins. Yeah,
Now, Into Deep. They were kind of trailblazers, but no, it's kind of don't want to. They don't mention it because first I'm gonna tell you who was in the band. It was Lil Steph played keyboards. I played keyboards. Andre Hoffman sang. Hanif was singing.
let me stop you right there.
Bill-
Ray Harden,
yeah,
y'all. Alexandria. He plays with Dynamic Superiors right now. He sang with Dynamic
Yeah,
Superiors. Go on.
yeah, yeah. Now Jerika sang. Jerika was on vocals. We had Jungle Boogie on congos, along with Weed. Man, yeah, In Too Deep was definitely on the map, but the format that In Too Deep used at that time was kind of brand new, which is what they doing currently to this day. What everybody want to get rid of is playing cover tunes.
So we talked about the your tender with Shady Groove. You skipped over Ovation, and you told us a little bit about Into Deep that a lot of people don't know, which you say
Yeah,
they were like pioneers of grown and sexy, basically, right?
yeah, yeah.
So
Everybody says
yeah,
Maisha and the Hip Huggers, but
yeah.
they, In Too Deep really turned that cover tune format. They were really rocking that at that time, really rocking it.
So a lot of people don't
But
know this. A
yeah, a lot
lot of
of
people don't know
bands
this.
knew about it because they started emulating it.
Mm.
A lot of bands started emulating it, and that's how you got to. They wasn't copying off of Maisha. They was copying off In Too Deep.
And see, and I'm glad you said that because in this genre, that's prevalent a lot. Like if your band doesn't um, become very popular, what happens is a very popular band will go back and check out some of your stuff and say, "Look, ain't nobody even doing this stuff, but don't nobody know about this band really." And then they'll take it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna give you one example. 2002, we played a New Year's show with Chuck Brown, and Chuck Brown heard us play. He heard us play. It was Is that R. Kelly song, Fiesta? Yeah, Fiesta, R. Kelly. Then before I knew it, Chuck Brown started playing it after that. So
I
I mean, that's kind of how I picked up.
this, hey, look, man, you know you preaching to the choir right now. Yeah,
I
so
know.
I understand.
I'm just going through some history.
Yeah.
Beautiful red sweater. Got some family here tonight too, baby. Sweet family, my little niece and my daughter KK. In their place to be. What's up, big brother? Who's it? Who am I
Well, it's
looking?
facts. It's facts. But that's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I lived it.
So now,
But
you my job is to keep things on track. Tell us about your tender with Ovation.
yeah, I played
Who
with Ovation after In
who,
Too Deep.
who was the members?
The members were Bill, cause Bill had got them back together. Was Tricky Rick, Bill. I think Stan played congos.
So
Um, who
so
was
you
on
mean
drums?
there, Mr. Wiggles
Uh,
wasn't there anymore?
nah, he
Okay.
wasn't there at the time. It was Ovation. He was getting together, but it was a lot of us from In Too Deep playing in Ovation. That's the easier way to put it. With Ricky Rick, Stanley. Stan. I don't know if you know Stan, but he played
Yeah,
keyboards. It was me and him on keyboards. He played in Too Deep with me also.
don't know him. You hit me to
Ex-
something. I don't,
extra, extraordinary keyboard player. He's a beast.
is he still around?
Yeah, he's still around.
We'll fix the second half. There's something going on with his amp, man. Hey, but you, Didi, you got to check out the amp, man. Y'all, we'll be right back.
This is how I look with my makeup. With no bra, my knitted sack down low. My hair ain't never hung out to my shoulders, and it might not grow. You never know. I'm clever when it comes to pride. I'm clever, always on your mind. She's clever, and I really wanna grow, but why come?
He's still around. Yeah, I haven't caught up with him lately, but he's still around. Um, Other people I'm forgetting at the time, but yeah, I got back into Ovation at that time to play with Ovation, and that's when I playing with them for a while. Then I got to like a kind of a 3 band mix up while I was playing with them, cause Steve was doing Shady Groove again, and he wanted me to play with them. Mind you, I'm playing keyboards at this time. I'm not playing trombone. Um, so I sit in with Shady Groove and was playing with them. Played some with them. Played some with Ovation, and then that's when I got the call from Big Tony from Trouble Funk,
Mhm.
and he wanted me to come up there to sit in and play with them. So, so now how can I turn that down? I couldn't turn that down. So at one time I was bouncing between 3 bands, and I just ended up playing with Trouble after that. And when I picked up with Trouble, he brought me in because Dyke, Psych Dyke, he had cancer. He had pancreatic cancer at the time. And that's why I came in, because he was sick with cancer. And I was blessed to be able to play with Dyke on stage in Richmond, before the Lord took him. But I was up there. I played with the original members of Trouble Funk. This was back when Big Tony was getting the band back together. So I had Psych Dyke, Doc, the other keyboard player. I mean, Reed was there. Um, who else? Who else was there? T Bone. How can I leave out T Bone? T Bone was playing. Fats was playing. Cause they had T Bone played congos. Fats played the rollertones. And I was there with that whole crew, man, up to about 2009, 2010 or so. And that that was like pinnacle. Then after that, I pretty much just played off and on with bands until I eventually retired, and Boo spent a long time talking me out of retirement. I gave him and played with Boo. and that was pretty good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful for you to have you in my life. Um, man, I'm just extremely blessed, man. So and then we can ready to start a new venture, and you a part of it, and that's another another thing that I'm truly grateful for, man. So, man, having you here on Boo Jones show, man, this is man, this you family, man. So
Yeah,
it means a lot to me, man. You and your cousin, man, both of you guys, man, y'all a big part of the journey, man. So
oh yeah.
you know, you
My my
and look,
my
go ahead.
cousin keep me employed.
But we talk about I had to get you, man, on this show, man, on the Boo Jones show, man, because man, you just told me a lot of stuff that we never talked about, man.
Yeah,
Man, you had adventure, man. Life been, very, very good.
yeah.
We
It's I mean it's a lot in between there, but
yeah.
I'm blessed. I really accomplished and did a lot.